Because there's no limitation to you other than your belief that there's a limitation to you. See, Dr. Holmes said this is so simple we have to complicate it up so people believe it. Now, similarly, if we think about it, okay, everyone say, I choose a manifestation of the beautiful by becoming the beautiful in consciousness. Now, if someone in your experience, for example, seems to be troublesome to you, how many have had at least one of those in your life, okay? Okay, what was their name? Okay, now, what you need to ask yourself is, what are your, not what they're doing, but what are your ideas about that person? Because I don't care what they're doing, whether it's positive or negative, what you're going to see is not what they're doing, you're going to see your idea of them. And if they are irritating you, it is not them irritating you, it is your idea of them that's irritating you. Okay? How many been clear enough to wake up to that? That's not psychology, that's pure metaphysics, people. That is principle understanding itself by means of you. You see, if you're around somebody that maybe is confusing, maybe you're looking at them and you're experiencing anxiety in relationship to them or anger in relationship to them, you know, get yourself clear, become still. Know the truth of them. You know, somebody in Chicago said something they heard me say at a Selamar a couple years ago completely changed their life. And I said, well, what is that? And they said, you pointed out that the highest thing you're accepting for yourself must filter through the lowest opinion you have of any person, place, or thing before it becomes your experience. And said, I just went home and said, it kept me up all night that night. And I thought about it and thought about it, and all of a sudden I addressed it, and I let go and let myself apply the lesson of it, and said my health changed, my happiness changed, my personality changed, my experience changed, my whole world became freedom from stress. And I realized that was it. The highest thing, because they had been running around for years saying all these wonderful metaphysical phrases, but they still had this list of negative opinions about people, places, and things in their life. They finally let go and let whatever the other people were doing return to them. Pay attention to what you want to return to you, and you're free. This is celebration. Everyone say, I choose to be willing to recognize that everybody in my world is part of the one life, God, infinite love, whether they know it or not. You see? And it's not your, who cares whether they know it or not? What's important is whether you know it or not. Okay? Then you're free to be prosperous, good, manifesting. What I'm talking about this morning, if you deal with what I'm talking about this morning, it will get a whole bunch of stuff out of the way of stuff that's coming from your heart. We have been teaching here for 35 years. Say it with me. All my dreams are waiting for me to come true. See? Well, as soon as they get their act together, I'll feel better. I'm sorry. If you're saying, as soon as they get their act together, I'll feel better, and they got their act together, you'd get rid of them and get some people in your life who don't have their act together. Okay? Well, I want to make the best out of the negative. Okay. I heard a wonderful story about an art dealer, and did I tell you this story about the art dealer that's there, and this guy walks in and says, this artist said, this is very interesting. Look, all this is great. Said, this looks very valuable. So what would happen if this artist, what if they die? He said, is it going to improve the, the cost? I mean, is it going to increase the value of their work? He said, oh yeah. It should probably go up 8-10 times. So that's great. He said, I think I'll buy all of it. Said, all of it? He said, yeah, all of it. Pack it up. So he buys all of it and walking out the door and said, do you know the artist? I said, yes, I'm his doctor. Oh, yeah. We were having fun in Chicago about the W.C. Fields. And what was it? W.C. Fields sitting in the backyard, and his friend walked in, and Fields had the Bible open, and his friend said, "Oh, my God, I never thought I'd see you with a Bible. What are you doing with it?" He said, "Looking for loopholes." Okay. Well, I got news for you. There's no loopholes in principle. You can't turn it off and say, okay, I'm going to be negative for a while without the negative that you're giving returning to you multiplied. Now, everyone say, once I eliminate my negative opinion about anyone or anything, once I forgive the person, whoever it is, and forgive myself for not forgiving them sooner, I am setting up at that point a new mental equivalent that does what? Produces a more positive situation in your life. That's how you do it. It's not magic. It's that simple. All you got to do is give up your reasons why you feel the way you feel. Now, how many would like amazing things to happen to you in a positive way, not negative way? You ever been there? I remember once I was sitting at a restaurant. There were these 5 women sitting in the next booth, and you couldn't help but overhear them. And one of them starts talking about the operation she had and how horrendous it was. And all of a sudden, there was this, "Hey, you think you had one? Let me tell you about mine," And then number 3 could top the 2, and then number 4 topped the 3, and number 5, And while they're doing that, number 1's thinking about a worse situation. Okay, how many of you seen people do that? Can you top this in a negative way? Because they think what? That becomes their importance. Everyone say the importance is what I am, not what's happening to me. How many long have we been teaching, I find importance in what I am? Not in what you have, what you do, where you've been, find importance in what you are. And what you are is a mighty moving power of God. And what you are is ready, willing, and able to allow yourself to affirm, I forgive myself and others. I let go and let the beautiful happen right here and right now. Who was applauding over here?